Hey, I'm Jessica. If you love cars as much as I do, you're in the right place. From drifting car days to uncovering the world's most iconic rides, gear up and subscribe to Race with Jessica for non-stop car fun.
So, you want to know which bikes America's obsessed with? Which two-wheelers are flying off dealership floors faster than a Ducati at Laguna Seca? Well, buckle up, because this list isn't about hype. It's about cold, hard numbers. We're talking about the most popular motorcycles in the US right now. Number 11, Honda Grom. If you've ever scrolled through a bike forum or wandered into a dealership, then you've seen the Honda Grom and probably sat on it, and probably smiled because this little troublemaker is everywhere, and it's selling like bottled water at a desert rally. So, what's the magic? First off, it's simple. We're talking about a 125cc single-cylinder engine that's reliable enough to survive the apocalypse. Fuel injection? Yep. 4-speed gearbox. Got it. And it sips gas like it's afraid of commitment. At just over $3,400 brand new, this thing is practically begging you to take it home. It's lightweight, it's nimble, and it'll zip through parking lots like a caffeinated hamster. Perfect for beginners. Perfect for commuters who hate traffic. Perfect for guys in their 30s who swore they were done with motorcycles until their midlife crisis kicked in. But, and here comes the catch, you'll outgrow it fast. Try taking it on the freeway for more than 10 minutes and you'll start praying for death or a strong tailwind. Top speed is around 60 miles per hour with a backpack and dreams in your heart. The suspension is fine if you're featherweight, not so fine if you've got any muscle or a packed lunch. Still, it's selling like crazy because it's the bike you buy when you want pure fun without committing to anything too serious, and it costs just $3,400. But what happens when riders want something that looks cool and still gets respect at the local bike night? Number 10. Royal Enfield Interceptor 650. The Royal Enfield Interceptor 650 sells like beer at a biker wedding. It's that one retro-styled machine that makes even non-riders nod in approval. You park it anywhere, and someone's going to walk up and say, "My uncle had one of those back in the 70s. No, he didn't. But let them dream. This thing is a rolling time machine. 648cc of parallel twin glory, with more torque than it needs, and styling that screams British gentleman with a wild side. It's smooth. It's planted. It's comfortable without being lazy. And it just looks cool sitting still. Royal Enfield nailed the modern retro blend here. Fuel injection, ABS, twin disc brakes, analog gauges, but somehow it still feels like a bike your dad would respect. And that's why it sells. It's a throwback, but not outdated. A standard bike without the drama. A motorcycle that makes you feel like Steve McQueen after quitting Hollywood to ride into the desert. Now for the painful part. It's not exactly a powerhouse. 47 horsepower won't blow your socks off. Riders coming from sport bikes might wonder why the engine sounds like it's whispering sweet nothings instead of screaming into battle. Maintenance isn't exactly budget-friendly either. Indian engineering sometimes comes with quirky electrical gremlins. It's also very affordable, can cost around $6,000, but people still buy it in droves because it oozes soul. It's not about going fast, it's about going somewhere meaningful. And speaking of meaningful, there are bikes that carry legacies, lunchboxes, and weekend dreams for years. You'll definitely recognize it. Number 9. Kawasaki Z400. Kawasaki Z400 is the kind of bike that shows up late to the party, kicks open the door, and immediately starts doing wheelies in the driveway. It's loud, it's sharp, and it is absolutely not here to make friends. It is here to cause trouble in the best way possible. This bike is light. We are talking around 366 pounds wet, which is basically scooter territory. And that makes it an absolute weapon in city traffic. It slices through gaps like a caffeinated ninja. Stoplight to stoplight, you are winning every time. The heart of this little beast is a 399cc parallel twin engine, but don't you dare call it weak. It makes around 45 horsepower, which does not sound like much on paper, but twist that throttle and it feels like a rabid squirrel with a jetpack. The power delivery is snappy, almost too eager. It is always ready to go. It is that one friend who always wants to race, even if you're on foot. The styling is aggressive. It looks like something out of a science fiction movie. Sharp lines, angular tank, minimalist tail. It does not whisper. It yells. It says, "Yes, I am small, but I will ruin your day if you underestimate me." But let's talk about the price. You can pick one up new for around $5,300. And that is insane considering what you get. Digital display, LED lighting, ABS, slipper clutch. This is a budget bike that looks like it just rolled out of a Japanese design studio with a six-figure price tag. And yet, it is not perfect. Vibrations. Oh yes, ride it hard and your hands will feel like you've been clapping through an earthquake. The seat. Let's just say Kawasaki is not interested in your comfort. Long rides, you better be tough or numb. And maintenance, it is not a Honda. Expect some drama. The Z400 is fiery. That includes its personality and its temper. Also, the suspension is a little stiff for bumpy city roads. And if you are anywhere over 6 feet tall, you might look like a circus bear on a mini bike. But that is the trade-off for a compact, nimble machine that handles like it is reading your mind. Still, for the money, the Z400 is pure value. It is not just a great beginner bike, it is a great bike, period. New riders love it because it is approachable. Experienced riders love it because it is a toy that behaves like a track weapon in traffic. If you want a small bike that makes big statements, this is it. The Z400 does not compromise. It is here to play hard and it does not care if you are ready or not. But what if you want something bigger, smoother, and with a badge that screams, "Let's ride to Sturgis." Number 8. Triumph Street Twin. The Triumph Street Twin is the undisputed king of affordable retro bikes. And in America, it's selling like hot coffee on a rainy day. People love this thing. They worship it. You can't swing a selfie stick at a motorcycle meetup without spotting 3 Street Twin riders in matching leather jackets, talking about torque curves and espresso. Why so popular? Easy. It's the Swiss Army knife of motorcycles. The 900cc parallel twin engine is a masterpiece. It's smooth, powerful, and torquey enough to pull a small trailer or a medium-sized ego. With 65 horsepower, ride-by-wire throttle, 2 riding modes, ABS, and a classic analog speedometer, this bike practically rides itself. It's comfortable for long-distance touring. It's stable in the city. It has street cred, cafe cred, and coffee shop cred. And yes, it'll make you feel like a distinguished gentleman without the film crew. But here's the catch. This thing is not exactly a featherweight. At around 500 pounds, the Street Twin is substantial. And unless you're a retro god or a retired mechanic, good luck picking it up after a tip over. Also, you better have decent pockets. It can cost up to $9,500. Maintenance isn't cheap, neither are parts. And don't even mention accessory addiction. That stock exhaust will need upgrading before you even leave the dealership parking lot. Riding a Street Twin around town feels like piloting a vintage watch through rush hour. It's classy, but you're sweating the whole time. Still, it sells like wildfire because it's a machine that makes you feel like a motorcycling poet, even if you're just riding to Whole Foods. But if you think this thing's a handful, wait till you meet its rowdier cousin. It's got Italian flair, naked aggression, and a reputation that splits the biker world in two. Number 7. Ducati Monster. The Ducati Monster is Ducati's way of saying, look, we can be cool and accessible too. And credit where it's due, they actually pulled it off. This bike has been flying out of showrooms, and it's not hard to see why. It's aggressive, it's muscular, it's the motorcycle equivalent of an espresso shot with attitude. Under the tank is the L twin engine in various configurations, but the most popular right now is the 937cc Testostretta 11 degree. It pumps out around 111 horsepower, which is more than some bikes twice its size. Throttle response, sharp acceleration, grunty torque. It's got so much it could tow your ego uphill with one hand in its pocket. Plus, it's got modern tech, ride modes, a TFT display, cornering ABS, traction control, and yes, even a quick shifter. It's a full-on Ducati that finally woke up in the 21st century. But this thing is not for everyone. First off, the ergonomics are aggressive. Your feet are tucked back, your bars are low, and your tailbone is begging for a chiropractor after 45 minutes. The suspension is stiff, not firm, and sporty. Stiff. We're talking, did someone replace my suspension with steel rods? Kind of stiff. And the ground clearance is decent, but push it hard and you'll be scraping pegs like you're mining for gold. And let's not pretend it's cheap. At around $12,000 to $15,000 depending on trim, you're paying top dollar for the Ducati badge, plus Italian maintenance costs. That'll make you weep. But people still love it because it's mean, it's fast, and it looks like a nightclub got turned into a motorcycle. But if you want something that blends that same street style with true long-distance comfort, there's something else. It's got loyal fans, serious chops, and one small detail that'll either make you smile or sprint. Number 6. Yamaha YZF R3. The Yamaha YZF R3 is the motorcycle version of that one friend who is not flashy, not loud, not dramatic, but always shows up on time, never complains, and somehow ends up being the last one standing when everything else falls apart. At first glance, the R3 might seem plain, safe, maybe even a little boring, but that is exactly why it is one of the best-selling and most loved bikes in the United States. This is the bike that can do it all. Commute to work, done. Hit the twisties, easy. Ride to bike night with confidence, absolutely. Under the fairing sits a 321cc parallel twin that is as smooth as silk and as reliable as gravity. It makes around 42 horsepower, which might not blow your mind on paper, but in the real world, it feels just right. It has enough grunt to get up to highway speeds without begging for mercy, and enough torque to handle hills and spirited riding without throwing a tantrum. Fuel economy, we are talking 55 to 65 miles per gallon. That is practically magic in today's world. You can fill up the tank and not see a gas station for days. And service intervals are generous too. This bike does not need constant babysitting. It just wants to ride. Ergonomics is fantastic. The sport riding position is comfortable enough that your back and wrists are not crying after 30 minutes. The clip-ons are positioned well. The seat is surprisingly comfortable for a bike in this price range. Long rides are not just possible, they are actually enjoyable. Now, let us talk about upgrades. Yamaha gave the R3 some love over the years. Newer models have inverted forks, better brakes, and a sharper-looking fairing. It is not a full-on superbike, but it is sporty enough for most riders who do not want to commit to a track-only weapon. It is also quite cheap. You can snag one for about $5,300. Of course, it is not perfect. If you are looking for thrilling acceleration, this is not your bike. Twist the throttle and it politely agrees to pick up speed. There is no drama, no surge, just smooth, steady progress. And while it can handle highway speeds, do not expect it to pull like a leader bike. It is still a small displacement machine at heart with super sport cosplay gear. But here is the real beauty of the R3. It is approachable for new riders, yet useful and dependable enough for seasoned ones. It is affordable without feeling cheap. It is versatile without being complicated. And it will never leave you stranded unless you do something truly questionable. The R3 is not trying to impress anyone. It just shows up, does the job, and quietly becomes your most trusted two-wheel companion. And in a world full of bikes that scream for attention, quiet competence is the real flex. Still, if you are the kind of rider who wants your bike to have attitude and muscle and a soundtrack that makes people look twice, then you should look at number 5. Number 5. Harley-Davidson Sportster S. The Harley-Davidson Sportster S is the kind of bike that makes people do a double take when you roll up. It's low, it's mean, it's got that aggressive, stripped-down American muscle look that screams bad decisions and leather jackets. And in the US, it's selling like motorcycle-shaped hotcakes. First, the engine. This thing packs a liquid-cooled 1252cc Revolution Max V twin with about 121 horsepower. That's not just a nice number, it's muscle. Twist the throttle, and the Sportster S launches with a deep growl that tells every car around you to back off. The modern styling, inverted forks, and aggressive ergonomics make it look like a custom build, but it comes straight off the showroom floor. Harley nailed the styling. Blacked out everything, minimal bodywork, bar-end mirrors. It's a looker, no doubt, and the price is around $15,000, which feels pretty solid for the power and street cred you're getting. But let's talk about trade-offs. This thing is a backbreaker on long rides. That aggressive riding position looks cool, but has all the comfort of a park bench during an earthquake. The reach to the bars stretches you like you're paying for a yoga class. And the tank range will need a refill before you even make it out of state if you ride like a human with emotions. And don't expect old-school Harley vibes. This ain't your grandpa's potato exhaust. It's refined. It's modern. And some die-hard Harley fans will hate that. But that's the point. And it's pricey at about $15,000. The Sportster S isn't about comfort. It's about making a statement. Now, what if I told you there's a bike that is the exact opposite? Comfortable, practical, but somehow still one of America's most beloved machines. Number 4. Honda CRF 450L. The Honda CRF 450L is like the guy who shows up to every group ride with tools, a GPS, a first aid kit, and a story about riding through the desert. He's dependable, he's prepared, he's maybe a little intense, but everyone invites him because he always shows up. And that's exactly why the CRF 450L is one of the best-selling bikes in America. It's the multi-tool of motorcycles. Commuting? Sure. Trail riding? Why not? Fire road to your buddy's cabin. It'll get you there. This bike is not flashy, but it delivers every single time. Powered by a 449cc single-cylinder engine that's been dominating off-road racing for years, the CRF 450L cranks out around 45 horsepower. It's sharp, responsive, and ready to tackle anything. The upright riding position is all-day friendly. The bike is light, and the thing just goes and goes and goes. But, and this is a big old catch, it's not exciting on pavement. Twist the throttle and it sort of nods and says, "Okay, let's do this eventually." There's nothing wrong with the power, but it won't raise your pulse unless you're off-road. The looks are functional, not sexy, not cool. It's like a dirt bike with a license plate. It works great. Looks like something your dad rode in 2005. Also, it's a bit pricey at around $10,500. And it's tall. If you're shorter, you might find it intimidating when maneuvering at low speeds. Okay, now we're entering sacred territory. You've made it through the commuters, the sport bikes, the dual sports, but now it's time for the top 3 most popular motorcycles in the USA. These are the bikes everyone's buying. The bikes that dominate streets, parking lots, twisties, coffee shops, biker meetups, and even your cousin's Instagram feed. So, buckle up. Let's hit number 3. Number 3, Honda CB 500X. The Honda CB 500X is not just a motorcycle, it is an institution. It is a reputation. It is the bike you ride when you are tired of playing it safe and want to feel something again, without spending a fortune. Twist the throttle and you will feel confident. Just pure, unfiltered middleweight competence. At the center of this workhorse is Honda's legendary parallel twin engine. That is a 471cc twin that delivers around 47 horsepower and solid torque. Those numbers do not tell the full story. The torque comes on smoothly and it does not let go. It pulls steadily from down low and keeps charging all the way to the top. The power band is broad, predictable, and full of reliability. The engine sounds refined. That parallel twin configuration gives it a smooth tone, almost like a small adventure bike. Twist the throttle and it responds. But it is not just noise. The response is steady. It is dependable. It is downright reassuring. This bike is a reliability party and everyone is invited. What makes the CB 500X so popular in the USA is not just the engine, it is the entire package. The bike weighs about 430 pounds fully fueled, which makes it manageable. It handles well in traffic. On the highway, it feels planted. On twisty back roads, it feels capable. It is practical. It is light enough, and it responds to everything you do, like it is reading the manual you forgot to write. The riding position is upright and neutral, which means your back and wrists will not hate you. The bars are wide. The pegs are positioned well. It is a bike that is just as happy commuting to work as it is touring across states. Comfort-wise, it is better than most adventure bikes in this class, at least for all-day rides. Newer models come with a clean LCD dash, LED lighting, and more refined styling. Honda has been tweaking the formula over the years, but the heart of the CB 500X remains the same. It is reliable. It is practical. It is ready, but the suspension is soft. If you ride aggressively, especially on bumpy roads, it can feel vague. The power is adequate, but not thrilling. And the seat? It is tolerable for hours. After that, you might want a break. Still, these are minor complaints in the grand scheme of things. This bike is not trying to be a sport bike. It is not pretending to be premium. It is here for miles, and it delivers. At just around $7, the CB 500X gives you more reliability per dollar than almost anything else on two wheels. It is one of the most sold, most loved, and most trusted bikes for a reason. If you thought this thing had hype, wait till you meet number 2. It's big, it's bold, and it may just be America's favorite two-wheeled cruiser. Number 2. Indian Chief. If motorcycles had a national anthem, the Indian Chief would be playing it loudly from 2 massive speakers while wearing aviators and fringe. This bike isn't just a motorcycle, it's a full-blown American icon, and it's one of the most popular bikes in the USA for good reason. Underneath that classic styling is the Thunderstroke V-twin with either 101 or 106 cubic inches of throbbing freedom. That's up to 1,900 cubic centimeters of torque-heavy thunder, delivered in a deep rumbling growl that makes car alarms tremble and neighbors wave from their porches. It's not about speed, it's about presence. It's about the vibe. You've got classic gauges, you've got ABS, you've got a full cruiser setup so you can blast across Route 66 with one hand on the throttle and one holding a gas station coffee. There's room for luggage, room for a passenger, and enough swagger to shut down an entire parking lot with one slow roll-in. But this beast is heavy. We're talking 750+ pounds. Dropping it is not an oops, it's a call 3 buddies and a tow strap. Fuel economy is generous if you're into refueling often, and the price is around $15,000 to $18,000 new. That's not a bike, that's a statement piece. Still, it sells because owning an Indian Chief isn't about being logical, it's about being legendary. And speaking of legendary, number 1 isn't flashy. It isn't loud, but it is everywhere, and it's the backbone of American riding culture. Can you guess what it is? Number 1, Honda Rebel 500. This is the entry-level cruiser that took over everything. Do not let the 500 in the name fool you. The Honda Rebel 500 is not a toy. It is not a scooter in a leather jacket. It is not training wheels with chrome. This thing is a confidence-building corner-cruising beginner-beating weapon, and it knows it. Let's talk about the engine. You are looking at a 471cc parallel twin that cranks out about 47 horsepower. And that is not just a number. That is a promise. This motor pulls smoothly all the way through the rev range and feels alive under your hands. For a small cruiser, it delivers big grins. It is smooth, it is torquey, and it is just enough power to keep things thrilling without trying to kill you. What makes it even better? The weight. This thing tips the scales at just 408 pounds wet. That means it handles like a dream. It changes direction with ease. Whether you are slicing through city traffic or leaning into your first curve, the Rebel 500 feels like it was built just for you. Now it is comfortable. Unlike some cruisers that fold you into a pretzel and ask you to suffer, the Rebel 500 has a relaxed riding position. You get the cruiser look without the chiropractor bills. Your back, your wrists, your sanity, they all survive the ride. That makes it a perfect daily bike, perfect first bike, and honestly, perfect forever bike if you are into keeping it simple and stylish. It also comes with actual features. You get a slipper clutch, which means smooth downshifts without rear-wheel drama. ABS is standard. The digital dash is clear and functional. The bodywork is clean. The paint looks sharp. It looks like a real cruiser. It feels like a real cruiser, but it costs a fraction of the price. Speaking of cost, this thing starts around $6,800 new. That is insane. You are getting a reliable, stylish, and capable motorcycle that will last. It is not just a great beginner bike. It is a great bike, full stop. But sure, it is not flawless. If you ride 2 up, your passenger better love you a lot. The seat is not built for romance. At highway speeds, the engine starts to feel a little buzzy. It will do it, but it prefers the back roads and city streets. And for taller riders, it might feel a little compact. Still, these are nitpicks. No bike is perfect, but this one comes dangerously close. The Honda Rebel 500 is proof that you do not need a huge V-twin to feel like a badass. You do not need 100 horsepower to fall in love with riding. All you need is a good engine, great balance, and the willingness to grin like an idiot every time you roll on the throttle. So, go ahead, buy it. It's affordable at $6,800. Ride it. Fall in love. If you enjoyed this countdown of America's most popular motorcycles, hit that like button and subscribe to Race with Jessica for more content about the bikes everyone's riding right now.